Hello, my name is Sajid Hussein. My teammates are Hussein, Ahmad, and Abdullah. The name of our application is Pray O'Clock. Our problem statement, so the problem that we wanted to fix is that as Muslim students, it is challenging for us to choose classes that would fit around our prayer time obligations. And so what we wanted to do is that we created an app that would enable Muslim students to fulfill their prayer obligations. And what are prayer time to Muslims? So Muslims, they pray 5 times a day. So you can think of each prayer time as a window. And these times are based on the location in the sun. So throughout the year, they would change.
Okay, so I designed the algorithm that we're using to create a rating system for each schedule that the user inputs. So you can see here an exponential function that we use to rate the amount of time that is allotted per prayer, since the less time would obviously mean it would be a lot more tighter and more difficult on your schedule. You can see here, this is an example of like what a class schedule might look like with prayer times on top of it, where the prayer times are orange dots and the class times are blue bars. So you can see how here you'd have to pray for, you'd have to fulfill obligation for the prayer here, here, and here.
Alright, so some of the difficulties that we faced while making this project was firstly implementing the library that contained all the data for the prayer times. As mentioned before, the prayer times do change throughout the entire year, so that was a struggle to be able to navigate that. Another issue we faced was developing the algorithm. The other issue we also faced was getting here. We turned a 3-hour trip into a 10-hour trip because we had car issues. And finally, the last issue that we faced was just familiarizing ourselves with the various languages and platforms that we use to create this, such as React Native, JavaScript, and GitHub.
All right, so let's jump straight into our demo. So we have our home page here that fetches the data from an online open source library. So this library basically takes the angle of the sun and calculates the prayer time based on that. And as you can see here, we have determined the 5 prayers along with the sunrise time. So whenever we go ahead and go to import schedule, we're gonna basically get the student schedule. So let's do that. It's gonna review his schedule again, make sure he's taking the right classes, and then we would go to the prayer rating. So this is a visual of what our friend Hussein has explained just previously about the prayer rating algorithm. So we calculated the prayer rating for each month, and you can see like at the very first until March, basically like he's gonna miss some prayers, and then he's gonna start making up a lot more because of daylight saving time. And you can see this is the overall prayer rating value for this schedule.